What's up, guys? We are live. We are live. Just a quick one, really. Maybe an hour long, something like that. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, obviously, great weekend of boxing coming up. Well, today, Estrada versus Gonzalez 2, the fight we've all been waiting for. Pound for pound level implications. 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Cannot wait for this one. Cannot wait. And yeah, I thought I would fire up a quick live stream. Maybe we'll go for 45 minutes or so, something like that, hour, and we'll talk some boxing, man. We'll talk some boxing. Big up to ABC Def in the chat. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Early ones today, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, listen. I am going out tonight, but I'm not sure whether I'm drinking or not. If I'm not drinking, I'll come back and watch the fight. If not, I'll watch it tomorrow. But I'm not really sure what mood I'm in yet, to be honest. I'm not really sure what mood I'm in regards to drinking. I've not had a drink for a long time now, so I'm going to be a lightweight. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight nevertheless. I'm leaning towards Estrada, as you guys know. I think this time around he's a little more fresh. I think he's improved a lot since that first fight, whereas Roman Gonzalez, still a great fighter, but maybe now he's on the downward slide. It's a great fight, man. It really is a great fight. Who have you got, ABC, by the way? Who have you got in this fight? Estrada's the favourite by the bookies anyway. I've got Estrada as well. I think he'll pull it out this time. Yeah, Copendo 9. Jordan Reynolds going to rep Luton on the world stage, question mark. I actually saw his pro debut last night on IFL. He looked okay. He looked flashy, but listen, man, a long way to go. But he looks like he's got some sort of talent. I certainly believe he's going to compete at domestic level. I'll say that much. But yeah, he looks like a decent prospect. Repping Luton, as you said. Yeah, he's decent. ABC, he's leaning towards. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, ABC, he's leaning towards Roman Gonzalez, to be honest. I think Gonzalez may just have his number like Saw had his. Interesting. Pound for pound boxing, he's got the same as me. Estrada by late KO. Yep. The first fight, man, I thought Roman Gonzalez won the first fight about 8 rounds to 4. Estrada in that first fight, he basically tried to play the volume game and outwork Gonzalez. Since then, Estrada's kind of settled into his style, and he's now more of a counterpuncher fighter. He's a lot more precise with his work, and he kind of reminds me of Juan Manuel Marquez. He's definitely improved a lot since from that first fight. Sorry, I don't think he's going to approach the fight the same. Trying to outwork Gonzalez. And I've got a feeling Estrada in this fight is going to be a lot more aggressive on the front foot. I just envisage that for some reason. But it's going to be a good fight. Roman can definitely outclass him up close. There's no doubt about it. Nice cup of coffee. Nice cup of coffee. Beautiful stuff, man. Okie dokie. Just sort these tabs out in the background. 1 second. But yeah, also on the undercard as well, you've got hang on 1 second. You've got a couple of good fights on the undercard as well. And yeah, now the boxing's coming on again now. Lawrence Okole, Christoph Glowacki next weekend as well. That's a good fight. I'm looking forward to that one, actually. That's going to be a good, solid fight. By the way, you've also got Anthony Mundine versus Michael Zarafa, for those who are interested. What's not to love about that fight? Christ, Anthony Mundine still going. It's crazy. That's today as well. Anthony Mundine, Michael Zarafa. Man, Michael Zarafa's going to punch Mundine's head in. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, the predictions do definitely seem split in regards to this fight. I've seen a lot picking Gonzalez on points. I've seen a lot picking Estrada on points. A few for Estrada by knockout. I've not heard anybody say though Roman Gonzalez by knockout. That's what I will say. Yeah, he is ABC Def. He's fighting a Mexican dude. I think he's fighting a Mexican called Vega, I believe. You're on about Kayaguchi, yeah. He's fighting Axel Aragon Vega. That's for light flyweight, yeah. Kayaguchi's a good fighter in his own right, though. He's a real fun fighter. Very good counterpuncher, respectable power. Good fighter, man. Very good fighter. So that's going to be interesting as well. But this fight right here, he should win quite comfortably, to be honest. He's obviously with Matchroom now, Kayaguchi. So we'll see how he looks on his Matchroom debut. But that's a good signing. You've also got David Benavidez fighting tonight as well on Showtime. Not a great fight. He's fighting Ronald Ellis. On that card, by the way, you've got a lightweight called Isaac Cruz, who looks very decent. He's fighting on the undercard as well. So yeah, there's a few fights to look out for tonight. There's a few. Yeah, Mundine's old ass should just stop. How much more brain damage does he need? Yeah, he's been knocked out badly a few times. Anthony Mundine. This was the guy who made Sven Otke look like a one-punch knockout artist years ago, if you recall. Like, Sven Otke had the reputation of being like a Paulie Malignaggi, but he slept Anthony Mundine. Absolutely slept him, bro. In fact, this fucking Mundine fight is it's going to be soon, actually. You know, Anthony Mundine versus what do you call him? Michael Zarafa. Hang on, I think it might have happened already. By the way, Mundine versus. Has this happened already? Anthony Mundine versus Zarafa. I think it's happened already, by the way, guys. First round, yeah, Mundine down and out. Yeah, he got knocked out in a round, guys. He got knocked out in a round. Anthony Mundine, Jesus Christ. So we missed it, guys. We missed it. Shit. Yeah, Anthony Mundine, man. Jesus. Knocked out in a round by Michael Zarafa. You're not surprised, though, are you? That was going to happen. Anthony Mundine needs to call it a day now. Got knocked out in a round by Jeff Horn, and now he got knocked out in a round by Michael Zarafa. It's crazy. Crazy, man. He's like 45 years old now as well, so his license needs to be revoked as far as I'm concerned. Okay, he's retired. That's good. Well, he said that before, though. He said that he was going to retire a lot of times, and you know, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Oscar Rivas. He's fighting on, I think it's Monday or Tuesday, Cop End. Yeah, I saw that on BoxRec. He's coming back now. That's good news. I like Oscar Rivas. He's a fun heavyweight, carries power. You know, respectable fighter. That's going to be a good. It's going to be interesting to see him come back. I want to see that guy in the mix with the likes of a Charles Martin or Robert Helenius. You know, Otto Wallin. These sort of guys. These guys need to fight each other. And Oscar Rivas is definitely in that mix, in my opinion. Rivas is £35 pay-per-view on Fight in the UK. Jesus Christ, AA. That's insane. For some reason, I thought it was 11:30. I've committed a bit of an own goal here. I've committed a bit of an own goal. Shit. Pick up the P-Bum. It's a funny name. Blue Collar, what's your thoughts on Billy Joe's excuses? Like when he said he had the flu and he ruptured his scrotum, and when he said he's coming into this fight to lay down in the third round. I think, listen, it's what I expect from Billy Joe Saunders. Obviously, he could be joking and whatnot, but sometimes there's a lot of truth that is said in jest, and I just don't trust Billy Joe Saunders. I don't trust his ambition, his dedication. He needs to show me something. I'm not expecting anything from Billy Joe Saunders in this fight. Quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I'm expecting him to lie down. How can I count on a guy who says Gennady Golovkin knocks me and Chris Eubank Jr. out on the same night? That's not what I want to hear from a fighter. So I've got no faith in Billy Joe Saunders, to tell you the truth, P-Bum. No faith at all in Billy Joe. And nobody should have faith in him, quite frankly. So, yeah, one of those ones. I want to be surprised by Billy Joe. I want to be surprised, but I can't see it. I can't see it happening. I think he's going to shit the bed, quite frankly. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Billy Joe's going to surprise us all and put on a really good show. Who knows? But I'm not counting on it. Sorry, fuck me. Went down the wrong way there. Jesus. Christ. That's some nice coffee. I think his ruptured scrotum's going to give him trouble through camp. Yeah, Billy Joe's an idiot, man. Billy Joe's an idiot. We'll see, man. Maybe Billy Joe comes to fight, but I'm not convinced. It's not like Billy Joe's got a track record of taking it seriously and showing that ambition that you want to see. So why should I count on him in this Canelo fight, basically? Just the track record of Billy Joe Saunders can't be trusted. Is he talented? Of course he is, but he's never really applied himself like he should do. He should be a lot further ahead in his career than he is. I mean, let's be honest about it. He's only at 168 because he's lazy. He's lazy and undisciplined. Billy Joe Saunders is not a 168-pound fighter. I don't care what anybody says. And you can tell that in his performances. Doesn't look as quick on his feet. His reactions certainly do not look as good. That's one thing I've noticed with Billy Joe at 168. It's when a punch is coming at him, how he reacts. His reactions are a lot slower now. They're still quick, don't get me wrong, but slower than he was at 160. 168 doesn't suit Billy Joe. I'm not saying he's terrible at that weight, but just not as good as he was at 160. But who knows? Maybe he shocks us all. I just can't see it. Is there any footage from this Anthony Mundine fight knocking about on YouTube? Because I want to have a laugh. Let's have a look. Anthony Mundine, mate. Let's have a look. Is he on here? I can't see shit. No, I can't see any footage of it. Yeah, you can't go from Murray to Canelo. Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest about it. Billy Joe in that fight, listen, he basically won every round, but it wasn't like a perfect performance. It wasn't a performance where you said, wow, Billy Joe's going to be a real threat in this division. Workman-like, he did his thing. He outboxed Martin Murray, but you're expected to it when Martin Murray's like nearly 40 years old and shot to bits. And you're right, yeah, Billy Joe, you can't go from the likes of a Martin Murray to Canelo. And before that, obviously, Billy Joe was inactive and whatnot. So I think it's all going to come back on him. I think it's all going to come back to bite him on the arse. By the way, according to Calla Sauerland on Twitter, Chris Eubank Jr. fight announcement dropping next week. So we should have Chris Eubank Jr. news next week. Interesting. I just hope He's not fighting Kell Brook. If it's Chris Eubank Jr. versus Kell Brook, then fuck me, that's an embarrassment. But yeah, hopefully that's something that's going to surprise us. Hopefully Chris Eubank's in there with a good fighter, somebody half decent. AA Boxing and Blunts, I was such a fanboy of Billy Joe Saunders and Fury at one point. Now I want to see them both lose. They both think they're so much better than they are. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, mate. For me, it's the fan base of both guys that really irritate me. Like, I rate both guys to a certain extent. I rate Tyson Fury a lot higher than Billy Joe, but people act like these guys are perfect, like maestro boxers who can't be touched. They are both beatable. They are both beatable. I think he should move down to 160 and fight Golovkin because Golovkin is past it now. Yeah, I'd rather see Billy Joe fight Golovkin. I still think he loses, but I'd rather see that fight, to be honest. Colin is a cash out. Saunders knows he won't get a UD stateside. He hasn't been active and doesn't have a knockout power yet. Oh, yeah, exactly. Calais got him a plum to get ring card girls and cocaine. Lemieux win looked good, but let's be honest. Lemieux just comes forwards in straight lines. To call him one-dimensional is being generous, yeah, indeed. Stylistically, that was perfect for Billy Joe. Yeah, there's that risk of getting caught by one big shot, but that's the only chance Lemieux had. And Billy Joe, yeah, stylistically, that was kind to him. I don't see a way Billy Joe can win because I don't think he can KO him, and he's got no chance on points, exactly. If this fight was at 160, I'd give Billy an extra 5% chance of winning. Good question here, Mr. Relax Yodel. If Fury and AJ have 2 fights, what will Dillian White do if he beats Povetkin for his next fights? Yeah, interesting. I mean, Dillian White, if he beats Povetkin and Joshua Fury fight twice, I wouldn't be shocked. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Dillian maybe fights the Parker Chisora winner. If that fight happens, I could see that happening. Because they're going to want to keep Dillian White on pay-per-view in the interim. And what fights can really do that? A third Chisora fight? A Parker rematch, maybe? I think those fights would work for Dillian White. But apart from that, what else could you really do? I'd love to say they could get Andy Ruiz over. That'd be a great fight for Dillian, but that's not going to happen in my opinion. Or even like Deontay Wilder. Those are the ideal fights, but see, this fight I like. Michael Hunter, Dillian White, yes. I like that fight a lot. But again, Michael Hunter is one of those guys who's like high risk, low reward. I think Michael Hunter's a bad style for Dillian White. I think he gives him fits. And also Michael might be fighting Filip Hrgovic as well. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Oh, you're saying Tyson Fury will never lose to Deontay Wilder, Joshua Ruiz, or any of the big names. The guy has a much bigger chance of losing to Michael Hunter. Yeah, I've always said with Tyson Fury, I think on his day, if he's at his absolute best, I think he beats all of the main heavyweights. But I've always felt that Tyson Fury has like a Hashim Rahman moment in his career. We nearly saw that against Otto Wallin, for example. Yeah, the cut was bad and whatnot. Some referees would have stopped that fight because of that cut. But even the last round, Tyson Fury got buzzed by Otto Wallin. People forget that. Honestly, Tyson Fury is one of those guys who probably beats the main guys around him, but he could easily lose to somebody we don't expect. That's the thing with Tyson Fury. Wonder if you can get odds on Saunders taking a knee and not getting up. Maybe. It's a good bet. Colin, is Vladimir banking on Usyk coming through Joyce, getting the title after vacation and breaking Foreman's record? Yeah, I've heard this being spoken about a lot recently with Vladimir Klitschko. And listen, he's sparring. He's still keeping himself in great shape. I can easily see Vladimir coming back, especially if the belts become fragmented. If he sees an opportunity to get that belt and become the oldest heavyweight champion, I can easily see Vladimir Klitschko coming back. Honestly, I can. What do you think of Joseph Parker being involved in an international meth ring? Listen, man, sometimes the quietest ones are the most greasy in this world. You know, very often the people who are very forthright with what they're going to do to you and all this shit, a lot of the time those people are pussy holes in the world. You know, not all the time, obviously, but a lot of times those sort of guys who are really out there and loud and obnoxious, they're the ones who probably are less harmful to you. Sometimes the quiet ones, man, are most deadly. And who would have thought Joseph Parker would be involved in something like that? But yeah, man, Joseph Parker running the county lines in fucking New Zealand. Jesus. We definitely know Dillian's not fighting Usyk because he doesn't speak English, just like Povetkin doesn't speak English. Dear. Fury overhand right. Steve Cunningham, Fury's chin isn't great, yeah. Yeah. I think if Fury has a Hashim Rahman moment, it'll probably come at the hands of Michael Hunter. He'll never lose to a big name, and I'll bet on it, sort of like Lennox Lewis. You could be right, bro. You could be right. Yes, big up G-Man. He says, he says, seen Klitschko sparring, but I think he looked off. I'd go with Usyk in that fight, if that fight happened. Yeah, so would I, bro. So would I. Yeah, I saw the sparring snippet of Klitschko, and you are right. He definitely looked a little off, his timing looked way out. His distance management looked out as well. But who knows? Maybe that was the first time he sparred in a few months. But still, though, for a guy of his age, man, he's in incredible shape. Vladimir Klitschko, in great shape. Calais Sauerland makes Keith Richards look like he lives a straight-edge lifestyle. Yeah, Avdan Tilkurtsidze, yeah. He was part of a mafia. What was it, the Georgian mafia? He was like an enforcer or something like that. And again, that guy was, look at his persona, like in the media, very jovial, funny guy, a bit of a dope, and look what he was involved in. Sometimes it's the ones you don't expect that are most dangerous, right? Because who would advertise that shit? The people who do are dumb as fuck. They're the ones who are going to get caught, or they're not all that dangerous anyway, and they're just talking shit because they're insecure. Like I saw that a lot coming up in Luton. Like a lot of the guys who spoke a lot, man, usually weren't on it, or even if they were, they'd just get fucking caught anyway. So yeah, one of those things, man. If Parker offered you a few Nintendos, Dell, what would you say? I'd say okay, bro. No doubt. JP in that trap house. Running the county lines in New Zealand, man. Joseph Parker out here, man. Mixing in that Pyrex, bruv. Oh, dear. Klitschko at 45 would beat Dillian White. He could do, bro, but listen, I would need to see him take a couple of fights kind of thing, see what he's like. Take a couple of fights against less than stellar opposition, like George Foreman did. Well, George Foreman fought a lot of those guys when he came back. He fought a lot of puddings, and Klitschko needs to fight a couple of puddings if he comes back. Trapping ain't dead. Parker's still breathing. Yeah, to be honest, in my experience, all of the guys I've seen who've been involved in drug rings have been obnoxious as hell. Yeah, a lot of these, we live in a society now where, and it's a double-edged sword because everybody wants to flex, show people what they have and what not. And that's the worst attitude to have if you're running a fucking drug den or a drug ring, or you're dealing. Like having that flex attitude, that's the worst thing to do, straight up. And a lot of people get caught like that, posting dumb shit on Snapchat or, being 19 years old and driving a fucking brand new BMW and shit like that. It doesn't go down well. You got to be incognito, man. Honestly, a lot of people get caught because it's not the police are not that fucking. They're not that fucking smart, bro. A lot of people are just dumb. A lot of people are just dumb. And I've seen it so much, like growing up in Luton, like people like they just get caught because of their own stupidity and their own not greed, but like vanity, I guess. That's what gets a lot of people caught. Big up to Karma. Anyone heard about Beterbiev testing for PEDs? Don't say that's true, man. You're trolling me, bro. You're definitely trolling me. I've got to look on Twitter now. I'll be devastated if Beterbiev pops. Beterbiev. Let's have a look. I've not seen anything on Twitter. I've had a look at the latest tweets and whatnot. Nothing here. But no, I've never heard anything about Beterbiev on PEDs. Yeah, I gave it to John McDermott beating Tyson Fury. So did I, bro. First fight. I can't fucking speak. I've had about fucking 4 cups of coffee in an hour, man. I feel fucked. Yeah, I agree. Colin. White's always going to struggle against a high-level counterpuncher and a technician. Yeah, indeed. Those guys are always going to give him a lot of trouble. If he can't use that physical strength and power to that extent, he's always going to struggle with that sort of guy. If I was into drug dealing, I think I would want Dave Higgins as my advisor. Bro. See, that's something I'd love to talk about, man. That sort of thing. But obviously, it's not a good idea. I have to follow my own advice. Again, this is just merely me talking hypothetically, of course. Would never be involved in such a heinous act, such as that. Yeah, exactly, Colin. He is. Yeah, he's very devout to his faith, Beterbiev, and he lives for life. Yeah, he's always in the gym. That guy, Artur Beterbiev, always in the gym. Keeps himself in real good nick. So yeah, I think Beterbiev, yeah, he's 36 years old. Maybe he'll actually go on a little longer than we think because he lives so well. I'm hoping so because he's a great fighter. G-Man Boxing, I remember I went to school with a guy who got arrested for assault. How did he get caught? Posted on Facebook that he beat the crap out of a guy. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. This culture of filming everything you do, like street fights or whatever. It's the dumbest shit ever, man. Like, kids these days are so stupid. So stupid, man. Colin says Joseph Parker signs a long-term agreement with Kalle Sauerland. Can you imagine? Big up to Simon Coulthard. Best regards to the channel. What do you think of Sky shunning the Billy Joe Canelo fight? Yeah, I think I'm not surprised, man. Sky have definitely been slacking on their international coverage, and I think Eddie would want that fight on DAZN UK to try and get some more subscribers and build that network kind of thing. I think that's worked out okay. I don't think that's really a big deal. I would say DAZN had first dibs on that in the UK, from what I would say. I agree with this. Yeah, Usyk versus White is a horrible style matchup for White. Usyk would play with him, laugh out loud. Usyk's too small. He would 9-3 that geezer. White went life and death with. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think White would be dangerous early when he's strong and fit. You know, he's got power, right? He can hurt anybody, Dillian White. But once Usyk gets out of that danger zone of the first 4 or 5 rounds, I would see Usyk just picking him off, outboxing him, keeping him turning, and beating him, winning on points kind of thing. Yeah, I think Sky are definitely feeling it, as are a lot of broadcasters right now. Big up to Jazz. Jazz in the building. Not seen you for a while, bro. Hopefully you're well on this Saturday morning. Tyson said he's drinking 14 pints a day. He's chatting bullshit. He's in good shape. Yeah, he looked in good shape actually last night from what I saw. I just don't like all this bullshit that he's putting out to the public. Listen, man, the fans just want to see this fight. We've been dicked around for too long. Let's just get it made, man. I didn't like what he said in the IFL interview, to be honest. I didn't like it at all. That's why Dell drove a Reliant Robin with a fat girl next to him in Luton. He has brains. Fucking hell, man. Oh, dear. The world has evolved. Drug dealers just need to post it. All done on encrypted messaging services now. Yeah, indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The kids who are out on the street corners now they are what they are, man. They're basically being fucking used and pimped, man, as far as I'm concerned. Because you're not going to make any money that way. Yes, big up to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, by the way. Salute to D Jefferson. Big up to D every single time. Very good channel, so check him out. Excellent channel. Gives a lot of time to boxing, D does. Really puts a lot of effort in, so I got a lot of respect for D. I mean, he was covering the MTK card last night, the Lewis Crocker fight. So this guy, man, he covers boxing to the maximum. He puts a lot of time into this YouTube, so yeah, big up to D Jefferson. And big up to G-Man as well. Very good channel. Big Dan as well. Check him out as well. Some very good channels here. Yeah, Evgeny Tishchenko taking on Tabisu Mashunu in his 9th pro fight. Yeah, good fight, Colin. Yeah, Tishchenko's a real good cruiserweight prospect. Very good prospect. I felt he got lucky in the Olympics, though, winning his gold medal. But that's a good test. Mashunu can fight. He can really, really look after himself, Mashunu. It's a good fight for him. It's a good fight. I like that sort of thing, man. These guys are stepping up. And by the way, lads, on the Beterbiev undercard, check out a guy. He's a super middleweight, I believe. And his name is Pavel Silyagin. He's a Russian fighter. Very good prospect, in my opinion. He's on the Beterbiev undercard. Pavel Silyagin, 168. Good prospect, in my opinion. Yeah, Fury needs to sign the contract. He's suggesting they pay him before he signs the deal. Massive red flag. Yeah, I think Tyson Fury's just being Tyson Fury, to be honest. I think the fight's going to happen. But I do believe Tyson Fury is putting certain things out there for a reason. He's painting a certain narrative should he lose. So he's got a built-in excuse, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But, they've got to sell that second fight as well, don't forget. And if Tyson Fury can say before this fight, oh, I've been inactive, I've been inactive, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit of a narrative to sell the second fight kind of thing. But maybe I'm looking too much into it. Yes, G-Man's rocks. No problem, D-Man. Have a great Saturday. Hopefully you enjoy the fight tonight. Going to be great, man. It's going to be great. Who have you got, D, by the way? I've not seen who you're picking in the main event, Estrada Gonzalez. Who have you got? I've got Estrada by late stoppage, personally. But I'll be intrigued to see who you got in that fight. Yeah, he's very good, Colin Tishchenko. Yeah, he is. Very good. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like, be much appreciated. Yeah, he can box on the back foot, has solid power, good punch IQ. Robbed Savin, I think, at the Olympics for sure. Yeah. What's happened to John Ryder? He is supposed to fight the Cuban guy, David Morrell Jr. That's a very good fight. I like John Ryder, and David Morrell is one of my favorite prospects. So that's a good fight for me. I like both guys. I think it's a hard fight, though. But that's the fight he's supposed to take next, is David Morrell Jr., the Cuban guy at 168. I agree with you there, Del Boy. Fury is just using that as an excuse. Yeah, that's what I think, D. I think he's just painting that narrative just in case he does lose. It's a built-in excuse, and it kind of sells the second fight as well. That's what I think he's trying right there. That's just my opinion, though. Ryder was the reserve for Canelo versus Smith, I think. Yeah, he was. He was. I feel for John Ryder. I do feel for John Ryder. He's not really had his chance after that Callum Smith fight. which he won, man. He won that fight. But yeah, John Ryder's always had to do it the hard way. After that Callum Smith fight when he got robbed, you would have thought he would have got a rematch or a big fight. He's not had either. And now he's fighting David Morrell Jr., high risk, low reward. If he wins, he beat a prospect who's 4-0. If he loses, he's fucked. So John Ryder's always done it the hard way. Plus, he got robbed against Rocky Fielding as well. The Billy Joe fight back in the day was very close. John Ryder's had no breaks whatsoever in boxing. But yeah, John Ryder's a credit. He's a credit to the sport and a real nice guy as well. Got a lot of time for John Ryder. Okay, so Dee's picked Estrada, but I could actually change it in the next 4 or 5 hours, Del Boy. Hurts my soul to pick against Chocolatito, sorry. Yeah, I agree, Dee. I said this the other day. This is one of those rare fights where I don't want either guy to lose. I've got so much respect for both fighters. 2 of my favourites in the game. I don't want to see either guy lose, man, but you know, it's one of those fights. It's one of those rare fights for me. I just want to see a war, bro, honestly. I want to see a war, a good conclusive ending where the right man wins. Yeah, that's what I want to see, bro. Chocolatito, but yeah, it's a great fight, bro. See, part of me wants to see Chocolatito do it to really kind of cement that comeback after getting beat by Rungvisai. Can you imagine, right? If Chocolatito beats Estrada, becomes unified, and then goes on to beat Rungvisai, he's got to be above Alexis Arguello as the best Nicaraguan fighter of all time. He has to be at that point. Roman Gonzalez is already one of the best little men of all time. He is genuinely an all-time great. Like watching that guy fight is honestly just a privilege, absolute privilege to watch that guy fight. But yeah, he's a great fighter, man. Sounding like a Roman Gonzalez fanboy, but I like Estrada as well, man. Estrada reminds me of Juan Manuel Marquez, aggressive but a very good counter puncher. You know, he can get dropped. He's vulnerable, but again, heart of a lion, tough guy. It's a great fight, man. Yeah, her never gave Ryder the respect he deserves. Yep. And like I say, man, he's only, let's be honest about it, Cop End, John Ryder's only been beaten decisively once, and that was against Nick Blackwell at 160, where he just got caught in that fight. We know he was struggling with the weight, but that's the only time Ryder's been beaten convincingly. If Ryder got that decision against Billy Joe, it was a close fight, but nobody would have really argued. If he got the decision against Rocky Fielding, I felt he flat out deserved that. Nobody would have argued. If you got the decision against Callum Smith, nobody would have argued. Like, this guy, man, just, yeah. Yeah, goes way back to, yeah, exactly, bro. Guessing it goes way back to losing to Billy Joe Saunders on Box Nation. Yeah. Yeah, I had Ryder 7-5 in that fight against Smith, but I don't complain when I have it 7-5 because it could legitimately go either way. That's fair enough, bro. That's fair enough. I always feel sorry for those fighters though who always get kind of like the bad luck. You know, there's always those fighters who never get the rub of the green. I think John Ryder's one of those guys, man. Yeah, he's number 1 pound for pound by far if he wins too. Yeah, you can easily make the argument, D. If you said that, I wouldn't call you crazy. I wouldn't call you crazy at all. Delboy, you just made me change my mind again about Chocolatito. Yeah, bro. Listen, bro, I'm doubting myself as well. I made my prediction, I locked it in, and I'm trying to forget about it because if I think about this fight more, I'm going to change my mind as well. So my prediction is locked in. Estrada by late stoppage. I know that's a bit of an out there one, but I don't know, man. Yeah, bro, it's going to be a fucking great fight. And even Kayaguchi on the undercard as well. He's going to be interesting to watch. I've not really seen too much of him, so I've never seen him fight live, put it that way. So that's going to be interesting as well. Can't wait for it, bro. Honestly, cannot wait for it. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good Saturday and enjoy the boxing. There's some good stuff to watch out for. Some good stuff. And yeah, I was saying earlier, Anthony Mundine just got knocked out. I forgot about that fight. I was going to watch that fight, believe it or not, but I forgot about it. I want to try and find a copy of a knockout. Anthony Mundine. Can we find it? Is it on YouTube yet? I think I might have found a copy, Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, Zarafa just teed off on him and dropped him. Like, punched around his guard. Okay, yeah, so Mundine got caught with a right hand. Yeah, 1 round, Michael Zarafa knocked him out. Nice knockout by Michael Zarafa, but Mundine should not be fighting anymore. Christ. Fury versus Joshua was supposed to be in June, yet no official announcement about it being done. A done deal, even though we're in March. The official deal done announcement was for Fury Wilder 2 was 8 months before. Yeah, very good point, Big Dan. Yeah. I mean, time is ticking, bro. Time is ticking. I don't think it's going to be in June, though, Big Dan. I think it's going to get pushed back to like July, August kind of thing. I would say end of July would be my guess. End of July, I would say. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath either, Big Dan. I'm going to listen. I'm trying not to really talk about that fight as much as possible. I think I've done a pretty good job of it on my channel when it comes to making videos, at least. Listen, there's so much to enjoy without that kind of ruining my appetite for boxing, because the fuckery in that could be catastrophic. So I'm not gonna let it ruin my enjoyment of other fights. We got some great fights coming up, man. Tonight, obviously, Gonzalez, Estrada, Joe Smith, Maxime Vlasov, of course, Taylor Ramirez. We got some great fights coming up, man. So I'm not gonna let the Fury Joshua thing get in my way and piss me off. Once it gets made, it gets made. So a way to watch Chelsea knock it out of the park for another hour. Peace and enjoy the fights tonight, lads and ladies. Yes, sir. Big up to Colin. Thank you for dropping by, bro. Salute to Colin. He always turns up, man. So Colin, much respect to you, bro. I'm kind of debating what I'm doing tonight, because I'm going out to see some friends, but I'm debating whether to come back home and watch the fights or not, or stay out and basically drink. I don't know yet, bro. Yeah, exactly, Big Dan. That's for me. I just can't keep on making videos about that sort of thing. I'll make a video now and again, like I did one the other day, for example, but you're not going to get a video a day from me in regards to Joshua Fury. It's not going to happen. I'd rather talk about it when it's official, when we can talk about, some real, we can then, really break it down and whatnot. But until then, it's kind of pointless. Yeah, but Big Dan says, yeah, it's all boring, isn't it? Promoters and politics fucking about. Can't wait for Estrada versus Gonzalez 2 mad fight. Yeah, it's going to be great, Big Dan. Both of those guys are gangsters, honestly. And they're getting paid $1 million a piece. Listen, man, these guys are going to go to war, bro. They're going to go to absolute war. Like, the first fight was a great fight. This fight's going to be better, in my opinion. I think it's a much more even fight this time around, because back then Estrada was quite green, whereas Gonzalez was much more proven. Now, though, Estrada is much better, and I think Gonzalez has definitely slipped. So I see it as a more competitive fight now than first time around. So it's going to be a great fight, guys. It's going to be a great fight. Can Virgil Ortiz defeat Crawford? He can. Listen, he can punch. He's dangerous. Listen, it's possible. I mean, Kavalauskas dropped Terence Crawford. And listen, Virgil Ortiz is so much better than Kavalauskas. Much more dangerous, bigger guy, better punch variety, better boxer. Virgil definitely has a chance against Crawford, but I would still pick Crawford. I would make Crawford a favourite. But it's dangerous, very dangerous. Exactly. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. It's a very good shout. It's a good shout. See, we still can't really go out in the UK. I'm just going around with mates, get a few of the guys round. We'll have some beers and whatnot. But yeah, we can't go out yet. Like, pubs and bars are not open yet. Clubs are not open. So yeah, just got to do our thing, really. Because since I've moved into this new place, I've not really been socializing much because I've had so much to do. And so I thought to myself, yeah, I want to see this fight, but I need to socialize a bit. Been a couple of weeks, kind of thing. What would be a good step up for Edgar Berlanga? I would say someone like Gabriel Rosado, to be honest, a guy who can go rounds, who's going to throw a few shots back, been around, experienced. Someone like Gabriel Rosado would be ideal for Berlanga. Or even Vaughan Alexander. If you've seen Vaughan Alexander fight, he took Bektemir Melakuziev a distance. He's very tough, very durable. He gave, what's his name? Anthony Sims Jr. a hard fight, Vaughan Alexander. So someone like Vaughan Alexander, who's never been knocked out, or Gabriel Rosado, who's been around for a long time. That's what I would say. Because right now, I'm not convinced about Berlanga. All I know about Berlanga is he's a big kid, he's strong, and he can punch a bit. I've got no idea whether he can take a shot. I've got no idea how good his defense is. I've got no idea how can he box on the back foot. Can he cut the ring off against a guy who can move? I've got no idea about Berlanga. All I know is he can knock out D-level fighters, kind of thing. But actually, one thing I will say, Edgar Berlanga, I believe he's fighting Mario Cazares. Let me get that confirmed. That's what I read. Whether it's true or not. No, he's not. Don't worry. Ignore me. He's fighting a guy called Demond Nicholson in his next fight. Demond Nicholson has a record of 23 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw. 20 of his 23 wins come by way of knockout. So maybe Nicholson can test Berlanga's chin a little bit. But the disappointing thing is Demond Nicholson's been knocked out twice in his 3 defeats. So, yeah, and he's been going split decision against Mike Guy, if you remember. He got knocked out against Jesse Hart. He got beat by Steve Rolls on a split decision. He drew to Emmanuel Leem. Do you know what, actually? Looking at this resume from Demond Nicholson, it's actually probably the best guy Berlanga's fought, to be honest. Because he is beating guys like Mike Guy, who's a good journeyman. Fernando Castaneda, good journeyman. He lost to Steve Rolls by split decision. Drew to Emmanuel Leem, who's okay. Yeah, I guess this is a step up, actually, for Edgar Berlanga, Demond Nicholson, or Demond Nicholson, however you say his name. I'm not going to hate on that too much. I'll be kind. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not going to go too crazy on that. That's not a bad fight for him. I agree, D. I totally agree. Crawford's not invincible. Virgil, Josh Taylor, or Ramirez could beat Crawford. Yeah, we need to see Crawford in that sort of fight. That is a good fight. Yeah, Andrade Williams. Yes, sir. Very good fight. Because ultimately, I get to find out 2 things. I want to see Andrade in there with somebody who is coming to win and who brings danger. I think Liam does that. And I want to see Liam Williams. I want to see how much this guy's really improved. Because since that those Liam Smith fights, everyone's saying Liam Williams is a different fighter. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe he is. On the eye test, he looks like a much better fighter. But is that a product of good matchmaking? I don't know. But we'll find out in this fight. It's a very good fight. It's a fight both guys need right now. Andrade needs to fight anybody who's competitive. And we need to see how good Liam is. So I like that fight a lot, Big Dan. The lesser said, the better, AJ Morningstar. I don't like Chavez Jr. Is Mario Dizer still boxing? The German dude, for cruiserweight? I don't believe so, Mr. Relax. Because he fought, what's the British guy's name? Oh, God, I forgot the guy's name. He fought Marco Hook 4 times. Afolabi. Yeah, he fought Afolabi. That's a great fight. Junkenbayev versus Subriel Matias. That is a brilliant fight. Junkenbayev, a big puncher out of Uzbekistan, or is it Azerbaijan? I forget. But he's a good prospect, Junkenbayev. And Subriel Matias, dangerous man, pressure fighter, big dude for the weight. He can punch as well. Great punch output. That's going to be a great fight. Matias versus Junkenbayev, great fight. You're probably right, D. I think I'm being too kind with that Nicholson guy. I might be being, yeah, I might be being too kind. But yeah, D says we know nothing about that kid Belanga. The kid hasn't seen the second round. What is Belanga's gas tank going to look like? That's another thing. How is he going to respond if a guy's, taking him into the second half of a fight? Let alone, you know what I mean? So interesting. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. What do you think about Richards being thrown to the Wolves against Bivol? How long does he last? Listen, I like Craig Richards. He's a tough guy, nice guy as well, but he's going to get. I think he'll get iced in the middle rounds. I would say it's a good opportunity for him though. Hopefully he gets paid well, but yeah, he's going to get knocked out in the mid rounds. I would imagine. Damn, D's got Liam Williams for the upset. I've got Andrade on points. I think he's going to. I don't know. I've got a feeling he's going to respond and give us a good performance. I've got Andrade. Andrade on points. Good boxing display. You've got to go with Jamal Charlo, the boxer puncher in that fight. Munguia can definitely outwork Charlo because Munguia is quite busy. Charlo's kind of methodical. But I would go with the boxer puncher with timing against the pure fighter, to be honest. I think Charlo would walk him onto that right hand and knock him out. D says, I'm just an Andrade hater, though. I think he's overhyped. Yeah, he's definitely overhyped, D. I would definitely say that. But I think he's good enough to beat Williams. I think he'll outbox him. I think he's got ability, Andrade, but he's just never really shown it. Never really shown it. Taylor Ramirez and Andrade versus Williams are the two fights I'm confident of a winner. I'll give you a hint. Both fighters are from the UK. Yeah, I think Taylor beats Ramirez. I'll agree there. I think Taylor wins that fight. But I think Andrade outboxes Williams. Listen, man, I'd love to see Williams win that belt because let's be honest, if Williams wins, I'll tell you the fight I want to see. Liam Williams, Chris Eubank Jr., domestic fucking dust-up, world title on the line. Both guys are aggressive. I want to see that fight. If Williams wins, Liam Williams, Chris Eubank Jr. Brilliant fight. Brilliant fight. Chavez Sr. doesn't even like Chavez Jr. Yeah, you can tell, like, there's been moments when Chavez Sr. has been ringside for Jr. And you could tell when the camera pans to him in certain moments that he's disappointed, man. Like, he's so disappointed. Liam's blood and urine are being tested, so Big Dom can't give him any nasal sprays for this fight. Yeah, he might be in trouble, Cop End. I hope so, AJ. I hope Nicholson can put up a good fight against Belanga. I hope so. I'm not convinced, to put it that way, about Belanga. Like D, I'm in the same boat as D with Belanga. Yes, big up to Rapstar. Respect from East London. Big fight tonight. It's true. It's a true 50-50 indeed. Yeah, my official pick is Estrada by late stoppage, but I'm not confident in that whatsoever. I'm not confident at all. It's one of those sort of fights, bro. Can go either way. Is Andrade a wasted talent? Easy to forget he's nearly in his mid-30s and probably only got a year or two of his prime left. That's a very good point, Matt. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, he's like, what is he, 33 now, 34, Andrade? He's wasted so much time with inactivity and promotional issues and fighting shit competition. He's not really going to... Andrade's not really going to secure a legacy of any kind at this point. It's too late. Yeah, disappointed, but he still loves him like a son. He defended him when he wore the high heels. Yeah, bro, I couldn't... But that's the first thing I thought of when I saw those pictures. Saw that video. That's the first thing I thought of was Chavez Sr., how he would like react to that. But yeah, Chavez Sr., man, it's his son at the end of the day. So listen, Chavez Sr., he's always going to love him. Eubank might uppercut Liam Williams so much he stops the excessive blinking. Yeah, Liam Williams is a good domestic fighter for me, but he has improved since his losses to Liam Smith, yeah. Yeah, by the way, big up to Gonzalo, man. Oh, I always enjoy your takes on BDA, Gonzalo. You always bring that enthusiasm, man. You're always so like hyped up. See, that's why we cover this boxing lark on YouTube. Like I hate being negative in videos, but sometimes you have to when you cover boxing. But yeah, like I love hearing your breakdowns for fights and whatnot, man. It's great to hear, bro. It's great to hear. Oh no, no way, AJ Morningstar. Joe Smith's good, but no way, no way. Who's producing a boxing movie? Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, who's producing a boxing movie right now? Do you mean Andrade? Or am I being stupid? Probably being stupid, to be honest. But there we go. No problem, man, Gonzalo. And I take it you're looking forward to the fight tonight, Gonzalo. I can't wait for it, bro. I'm not confident in my pick though. I'm going out there. I'm going Estrada by late stoppage. I've got Estrada, but it's going to be a great fight. I've got a feeling for some reason Estrada's going to be a lot more. Like in the first fight, I thought Estrada tried to play the volume game with Gonzalez. I think this time he's going to be a lot more cerebral with his punch placement. And I think he's actually going to be relatively aggressive in this rematch. I think he's going to try and use that size on Roman Gonzalez. I think he's going to try and bully Roman for some reason. I don't know why, but I've got Estrada winning this fight. The mini Marquez, man. I've got Estrada. It's going to be great. So again, it's one of those fights where I don't want to see either guy lose. I like both guys so much, so it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be bad. I don't want to see the loser. I don't want to see I don't want to see anyone lose, but big up to DC Joe. He says, big up Del Boy. Estrada versus Chocolatito equals fight of the year potential. What's your take on V Parker Peddler Gate? Yeah, so I was talking about this earlier. Listen, sometimes the quietest ones are the ones who are the most greasy, you know? That's all I'll say on Joseph Parker. Big up to Demetrius Dudu on Bumdrade. Christ. Do you actually see Anthony Yard going anywhere? Crazy to see the decline of the hype in the last 18 months. Yeah, Anthony Yard can still be a good domestic fighter. He's got some good fights there for him. I think the Lyndon Arthur fight is very winnable. So first time around, I actually thought Anthony Yard lost that fight more than Lyndon Arthur won it. I think that was a very winnable fight for Anthony Yard. He could have easily won that fight, but for me, it didn't look like he trusted his gas tank in that fight, and I think that's what cost him. Because when he put it on Lyndon Arthur in the last round, he won that round. He hurt him and whatnot. I think he should have beaten Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard. Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. It's hard to say, man. That's a hard one to say. Teofimo's not going to have those same advantages at 140 that he does at 135 physically. So I would go with I would go with Josh Taylor. A bit too big for me. What do you? Sorry, Rapstar says, what do you know about Paddy Donovan? Yeah, the Irish dude. He's with Andy Lee. Yeah, it looks like a good prospect. He knocked out Sia Asgal in his last fight, who's a good journeyman in the UK. He never gets knocked out, and Paddy Donovan stopped him. So, yeah, good prospect. Andy Lee, it looks like he's got a good talent there. Do you see Pacquiao Garcia being announced soon? I've got no idea, Simon, to be honest. I would imagine that's the fight that's going to happen, though. I would imagine that's the fight that's going to happen. Probably a summer fight, midsummer, July type of time, I would kind of think. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, in the end, it's going to be sad thing for either guy. I got mixed feelings because of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gonzalo. I feel the exact same. Like, Estrada's one of my favourites because of his style. Like, Juan Manuel Marquez back in the day was one of my favourite fighters, and I loved his style. And Estrada, to me, is like a mini Marquez in a lot of ways. And that's why I've always been drawn to Estrada one of my favourites in the game. And like I say, Roman Gonzalez, what's not to like about Roman Gonzalez? If you're a boxing fan and you don't like Roman Gonzalez, there is something wrong there, in my opinion. I'm a big fan of both guys, bro. Big fan of both guys. Yeah, I'm not really into it, Cop End, Manny versus Mikey Garcia. I'm not really into it. Yeah, I agree, Karma. Yard didn't do enough in that first half of that fight. Yeah, I agree. But I think it was Yard's to win, man. If he stepped it up a little bit more and let go of his shots, I think he would have won that fight. Like, it's not like Lyndon was doing anything special. He wasn't like hurting Anthony Yard. He was just flicking out a jab, picking up the points. He wasn't doing anything special. Like, and Anthony threw it away. Anthony threw it away. Do you think my resume in chin is elite? Jesus. Ah, dear. Was it Joseph Parker who was getting the gear for David Higgins after all? Maybe. Joseph Parker's out here shotting like a madman. Jesus. Yeah, it's a good fight. AJ Morningstar. Oscar Valdez, man, he impressed me in that Burchell fight. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Burchell to stop him late on, kind of break him down and grind him down and stop him. But Valdez looked great that night, man. Hands looked good, quick, powerful. He was in and out. His jab was amazing in that Burchell fight. He was nice and compact, like kept a brilliant shape. I was always very high on Oscar Valdez on the come up. I rated him very highly. But after he won that world title, he had a couple of hard fights against Scott Quigg and Savania and whatnot. And it looked like to me that Valdez was on the way out, kind of, shop worn. So I really didn't give him any chance going into Burchell. But listen, man, he performed great. And against Shakur Stevenson, listen, stylistically, that's a different kettle of fish to Burchell. But he's definitely got a chance. We've not seen Stevenson take a shot on the chin or anything like that. We've not seen him in there with anyone like Valdez. So it's a good fight. I wouldn't want to make a pick on that fight yet. I would need to think about it. AJ, do you know anything about John Cooney, the Irish prospect? No, bro. Nah. Hearn is saying Josh Kelly's moving to 154. There's some very good domestic matchups, but if he has any real aspirations, he'll get murdered at European/world level. Yeah, I agree, Matt. See, I'm interested in seeing Josh Kelly fight Anthony Fowler, Scott Fitzgerald, JJ Metcalf, Sam Eggington, Ted Cheeseman. These are good fights for Josh Kelly. But yeah, above that level, he's going to get found out again. Yeah, the winner of Estrada Gonzalez, do they make your top 5 pound for pound? Yeah, 100%. Rapstar, 100%. 100%. Burchell got hurt from the first body shot, in my opinion. Didn't get going. Yeah, he definitely looked off, Burchell. And you are right. I noticed that as well in that first round. He got hurt to the body. I wonder though whether Burchell had a hard weight cut, because he is a big guy. He is a big guy. Me versus Jamal Charlo, who wins? I've got Jamal Charlo, Demetrius, unfortunately. I've got Jamal Charlo. I think he'll knock you out. If Parker is on any drug, it's for green. The man needs some Lucozade, too laid back. Yeah. I think Campbell Hatton looks good. Be interesting. I want to see his pro debut. Not really sure what to expect. I've not really looked into him. I've not really seen any amateur footage or anything like that. Not seen any training footage. I would love to see Campbell Hatton do something in boxing, because he's going to inherit his father's fan base, and they were crazy. So I hope he does well. I really do, but we'll see. Damn, Maine, you're so cold, bruh. Yeah, I think Jamal Charlo knocks you out, man. That boxer puncher style, I think he'll catch you. I think he'll counter that lazy jab of yours and knock you out with a right hand. Eddie Hill's really British level, but boil yourself down a weight class, then lose and blame it on weight. Move up and fade into obscurity. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going to happen with Josh Kelly, I think. I can't really see Josh doing much above domestic level at 154. He doesn't really have the style for the pros, in my opinion. Doesn't have the punching power, the tenacity, the strength, the chin. I just don't think he's good enough to make it as a pro. Like, if that was a 3-round fight against Avanesian, he would have won. If it was an amateur fight, he won. He was ahead after 3 rounds. I had him 2-1 up, but I just don't think he's suited to the pro game. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like, be much appreciated. And I'll always say that, but always helps with YouTube. Andrade goes life and death with Liam Williams, let alone Charlo. Damn Boo Boo, you don't want to go there, yeah. I think he loses to Charlo. Andrade, I think he loses to Golovkin as well. I think Andrade could beat Murata though. I think he would beat Murata, especially if it's in America. I think he beats Murata. But apart from that, I don't really see Andrade beating the top guys. He hasn't shown me enough, to be honest. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter or anything like that, but he's just not shown me enough to really get behind him in those fights. Do you think my resume, boxing skills and power are elite? Resume, no. Power, no. Your boxing skills are pretty tight in terms of like your legs, your jab. They're decent. Oh, no, that's Jamal Charlo. That's Jamal Charlo. Sorry, your resume is average. Your boxing skills are solid. Power is very good. Imagine that's Jamal Charlo. That'd be hilarious. Jamal Shitman Charlo. Jesus. Can't wait for Boo Boo to spark Williams, to be fair. It could happen. It could happen. Did you enjoy me versus Matt Korobov? Yeah, it was a good fight, though. I thought you lost, mate. I thought you lost. It was a good fight, though. David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol. I would take Bivol, but I think it's a hard fight. Benavidez has that activity. He throws a lot of punches, man, and he's a big kid. He's a big kid. I think Benavidez gives most of these guys problems. I really do. I think Beterbiev would be too much for him, though. I think Beterbiev knocks him out, but like 168 or a small light heavyweight like Bivol, I think Benavidez gives these sort of guys real problems. You guys know I'm a Benavidez fan, though. I like Benavidez. Something about that kid I like. I like him a lot. I like Benavidez. I'm not sure because he comes across as quite humble, Benavidez. I know he's made his mistakes, but when I hear his interviews, he always kind of convinces me that he wants these fights with Plant, with Canelo, etc., etc. He is convincing. He is convincing. And I like his style as well. I like his style. Matt says, "Yeah, I agree. I would like to see Kelly versus Moranquinho, but Hearn would never make that happen in a million years." Yeah, Moranquinho obviously knocked out Sam Eggington, and he was never seen again. It's crazy. Never seen again. Let me check my phone ever so quickly. Have we missed anything? Really, I was supposed to have left already, but goes to show how much I value your input in boxing. The fact I'm still here, it's got to be respected. I'm taking the piss, man. These people can wait. Yeah, Dante Dixon. Yeah, good prospect out of Sheffield, indeed. Yeah, he looks good. Rapstar looks good. He's got a fun style as well, Rapstar, Dante Dixon. He's with isn't he linked with Billy Joe Saunders, Dante Dixon? But yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's a solid prospect. Benavidez Froch, that'd be a war. Obviously, I've got to go with Froch out of respect, but I do think Benavidez is good. But it would be a war. Jamal Charlo says, why am I clout chasing Benavidez, B-Volt, and Baturbiev? DJ Joe DC. Yeah, I'm not really convinced Williams takes Boo Boo's title, but I'm definitely not convinced Andrade takes a good shot. That's how I kind of feel, bro. Like skill for skill, I think Andrade outboxes him, but I want to see him get caught. We've seen Andrade dropped. You know, he got dropped against Vanessa Martirosyan. Jack Kolkai buzzed him up a couple of times, and Williams can definitely crack to a certain degree. Edgar Berlanga doesn't struggle with bums like Plant, Charlo, Fury, Wilder, and Tank. Yeah, so far he's not struggled, but I mean, he has fought absolute crap. Berlanga, he's fought absolute dross. So we need to see him step up. Like I say, Rosado would be perfect for Berlanga in his next fight. Gabriel Rosado, Vaughan Alexander, these sort of guys. They would be good fights for him. Because I think someone like David Morrell Jr., a much better prospect at 168 than Berlanga, the Cuban guy. David Morrell, very good prospect in my opinion. It looks like he's fighting John Ryder in his 5th fight, whereas Berlanga's knocking out these D-level fighters and getting hyped. I need to see a lot more from Berlanga. I need to see a lot more. Whoever's doing these accounts, man, salute to you. Edgay Glass Chin Bumlanga. Is my resume defense and chin elite? I've got no idea, bro, in regards to defense and chin, but your resume is dog shit. Your resume is dog shit. No, I was just saying, like, Berlanga's level of competition has been so bad. We can't really know about him, bro. Like, yeah, he's knocked these guys out in a round, but they've been made to order. Let's see him in there with a Rosado, basically. Someone like that. Big up to Boxing Brains. Have you seen how ripped Andy Ruiz is right now? Laugh out loud. Was you giving Quadras many rounds against Estrada in the rematch? Suspicious back knee on Quadras too. Yeah. Listen, Quadras before that fight was looking shot. All of a sudden, he looked like Superman again. I definitely think Quadras was on PEDs for that fight. But yeah, he definitely won rounds in that one. And as for Andy Ruiz, yeah, I need to see Andy Ruiz on the scales to fully believe this transformation. I need to see him on the scales before a fight. No, I didn't see it, Eddie Hills. Berlanga's best competition to this point has been Lonel Bellows. He wasn't supposed to struggle with anybody. Exactly, bro. Yeah, everyone's been made to order. He's definitely got power, of course he does, but that's all we really know. That's all we know. We've got no idea what his chin's like, his stamina, how he cuts off a ring against a guy who can actually move, you know, how he fights on the back foot, etc., etc. What happens when he fights a guy with a good chin? We've got no idea against Berlanga. No idea at all. He's fun. Don't get me wrong. He's a fun fighter. He's a fun prospect. But I'm not on the hype train yet. I need to wait. I need to wait. Sorry. And you guys know I like my prospects. I do. I like my prospects, but we need to wait. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up. We've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you guys have a good Saturday. Hopefully you enjoy the fights tonight. And yeah, man, have a good one, boys. Peace.